Good evening, everyone. This is Madam Wands, and I'm going to do a general reading tonight, which tonight is actually March 24th when I'm recording this, and it is a full moon. And so we are moving into Aries season, which is a very talked about season right now because we've got Mercury retrograde on the way starting in April 1st in the sign of Aries, and we have a couple major eclipses going on. So I'll talk about those a little bit more maybe later in this reading, but I wanted to just get a really quick reading out because I'm being called to send a message. And oh, that's so funny, the stingray. Yes. So the first thing that pops out is the stingray. And I said it's funny because the stingray has been something that keeps popping out in several of my personal readings too. But the stingray is all about moving through some uncomfortable transitions and really finding yourself in those transitions. And I'll go ahead and read just out of the book. This is from the Pocket Animal Spirit Guide book by Kim Kranz, and I love this deck. This is the mini deck, so it is really small, but it's just such a great deck. So it says that the stingray is developing confidence, sense of self, or spine. The stingray can represent a pivotal point in personal growth. The moment has come when the stingray must decide between the old, easy, comfortable, and familiar, and the new, challenging, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. So when in balance, it is eager, it wants to grow, and when out of balance, it blames others and quits. So to bring into balance, we need to move through the discomfort. Move through the discomfort. And because we are in the shadow of Mercury retrograde in Aries, there's a lot of people who are going to be moving through some discomfort over the next couple weeks, just based on that collective energy. But let's go ahead and pull a couple more oracle cards to start and see if there is some more specific energy around that. Yeah, so we've got answer the call. So what is your soul calling you to do? And we've got birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into beginning. So with the stingray being about moving through those hard, challenging times, you are absolutely being asked to step into your higher purpose here. There's no doubt about it. There's a calling here for a lot of people on this planet, especially in this time right now, to kind of take a path that isn't familiar for a lot of us because this is such a new age. This is a totally different world that is becoming right now on the planet. And so if you were called to click on this video, then this message is for you, that you are being called to the job. And it is going to be uncomfortable, and it's not really what maybe what you thought you were going to be doing. But when we become a part of a new world, we're going to see a transition of people moving into their power here shortly. So let's ask the tarot a little bit more about that and what that means. Yeah, the world. Oh, that's perfect. So, like I said, this is I was being called to just do a general reading. I was going to do some sign specific readings prior to this, but then something just told me I needed to sit down and do, well, something spirit told me that I needed to sit down and do a general reading, and that's because there's a lot of you right now that are being called to step into service to the world. And that sounds super like extra, but it's kind of how it is right now. So I think that if you clicked on this video, then you're okay with that extra. I think that's kind of that's a part of your light. Page of Pentacles. Yeah. So the page is all about bringing in messages, and sometimes those are quietly spoken. But they're, Page of Pentacles, the Pentacles is earth energy. So right now, this is, if you are being called to step up to the plate, it's about finding what message that you're going to be presenting to the world, and what is your purpose, that what is your challenge that you're going to have to move through, that's going to be uncomfortable. Maybe we can get some clarification on what that challenge is going to look like for us. Just turn that off here. So, Spirit, what is that challenge going to look like for us? The Hierophant teaching. A lot of people are being called into the teaching right now. And whether that's in, a school sense, or if that's in the sense of, content creation, writing, public speaking, starting clubs or organizations in your own community, starting a YouTube channel. Um, right now, Spirit is saying that you are needing to answer the call and step into that Hierophant energy in order to bring your message through Page of Pentacles to the world at large, so that we can birth a new age. I mean, that's pretty dang clear, isn't it? Not simple, not a little message, but a pretty clear one. Goodness. Um, so what is the next step forward? What is the next step forward? King of Swords. So make sure that your thoughts are sharpened, that you are sure your mind is sharp, that you are leading with confidence and knowing, because you have that internal knowing. And if you clicked on this video, this message is for you, and you have what it takes to bring these messages into the world to help carry on um within you. So finding that confidence and finding your own way of communicating your message, your personal message, which is the message of Spirit to the world, is how you're going to start to move forward. It's in your own personal way. And that may definitely be uncomfortable, going back to the stingray, but that's what you got to do. You got to find the way that you're going to bring your own message confidently, clearly, and, to be honest, aggressively into the world right now. You know, um, the King of Swords is about power, and from coming from a place of authority and respect. And so when you step into your power, when you answer the call, um, you will gain that authority and respect that is, to be honest, it's your soul's right, your soul's born right. I think they say like the God-given right, which is Yeah, you can say that too. Um, now, it does encourage with the King of Swords to navigate with our logic and reasoning. And so a lot of us are going to have to figure out how to use our own ways of communicating and being in our own presence to usher in a message that is true to you and therefore will give you the authority that you need in order to get it across to, to who needs to hear it from you. Birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. I love that. Let's pull a couple more tarot cards. Nine of Pentacles. Then you will reap what you have always dreamt of sowing, which is Eden, the Garden of Eden here on earth. And she's plucking all of her hard work. She's confident enough to do it in a dress because that's who she is. She had the confidence, and now she reaps the rewards, the benefits, the heaven on earth. The new age. I have goosebumps. Four of Cups. We need to make sure that we're staying connected and staying spiritually aware right now, because there's going to be, I mean, there's obviously there's yin and yang on earth, and there's dark and light always around us, and that's the way it should be. That's the way it was designed. But in order for light workers, spiritual healers, those that have this job here on earth, which is you, if you clicked on it, um, you have to make sure that you're staying in the light as much as possible. And it's not to say that you're going to be, ignoring all the bad in the world, hardly at all, but making sure that you find the time to observe what cups are in front of you and what you're taking the time to pour, making sure that you're spending the time meditating, keeping connected to yourself, your higher power, so that you can stay in that authoritative, strong willed, confident presence that you need in order to bring in the message that the world needs in order to birth the new age, in order to move through that uncomfortableness that's bound to come with this job that you're being asked to answer the call to. I love that. The Hierophant is also often seen as kind of like the old school way of being. And I think that right now, um, there's a really big need for a meshing of the old school and the new school, um, in order to usher in this new age, right? And so, especially with the King of Swords being here, I want to make sure everyone realizes that to be a worker of this magnitude and to do your job, Spirit is telling me that doesn't mean that you have to completely step away from everything. It doesn't mean that you have to completely be enveloped in or completely be engulfed in, spirituality or new ageism, or even that your message has to do anything with that. Rather, it's It's about finding the subtle ways that you can answer the call that is true and honest to you so that you can feel confident and do the work in a logical and precise manner, which is exactly how your highest self intended it. So before we all came into this body on um and into this life, we had put out a desired outcome for the lessons that we wanted to learn, as well as the impact we wanted to leave on the world around us through this life and through ongoing lives too. And sometimes, your impacts that you set out for could take many, many lifetimes to get through, and that's okay. Um, and so just knowing that it doesn't mean that you have to have a huge world changing impact. You have to be seen by so many people in order to make this kind of impact. That's the stingray is quick and quiet and zooms through the water, sometimes on the end. I don't know if you've never stepped on a stingray, that's great. But I have not either. But my mother did when we were camping in the Keys of Southern Florida when I was a child. And, ooh, actually, you know what? It was a jellyfish. It wasn't a stingray. It was wait, or maybe it was. I don't remember. But I know that she stepped on either a stingray or a jellyfish and it hurt her really bad. But the reason I say that is because and then my uncle had to pee on her foot. I had to just put that out there. I remember watching my uncle pee on her foot. So, you know, it's those things, those memories that never go away. But stingray or jellyfish, those things are stealth. Um, but they have the impact when they need to have the impact, right? So that's what this is about. Um, but you got to answer the call though when it's ringing. Three of Pentacles. Don't be afraid to do this work with others too. There's definitely a need right now for community, for companionship, for people to start working together and unite, especially as we become so distant in, the world of technology, the internet, AI, remote work. Um, Light workers often do have a sense of sometimes even martyrism, speaking from experience. Like they have to take on everything and do everything themselves. And that's just simply not true for anyone, but especially for those who are called to do work that's on more of like a global or planetary servitude. Um, you don't have to do it alone. In fact, you're probably meant to find partners that you are here to do the work with. Um, because that's how our souls work. They're connected. They are one anyways. So why would we be here just to do it all on our own? And so sometimes when the work is seeming kind of scary and it is that challenging, uncomfortable energy that you need to move through, find a way to bring someone else in or go seek out a group that's already doing the work that you can be a part of, because that is where you can often flourish, um, both in the work itself, but then internally. So I hope that makes sense. This is a beautiful reading, and I can definitely see why Spirit was telling me that it needs to be a general reading and not sign specific. And, I don't know. I don't know. This is a new channel. I may not do the sign specifics because I feel like there's messages that just need to be put out there. And so I might just start doing that. So subscribe if this was your cup of tea. Um, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye bye.